Hi, everybody. My name is David Hankey. This is Louise Brooks. And each week I'm trying to give you an update, give you a Rector's update, just to talk a little bit more informally about the things that are happening in our church and in our congregation. So this week I was really excited that Louise agreed to be on the update with me. We've tried it as a letter. We've tried it as an audio file that you listen to. This week we're going to try a video conversation. Louise is our director of kids small groups. She's been on our team since the very beginning. I'm really grateful for her partnership and her friendship. Hi, Louise. What have you been up to this week?
Oh man, I've been plowing through that stack of books on the bedside table, and I finally finished Go Set a Watchman by Harper Lee. And I love that it's sort of a picture of adult children separating from their parents, sort of figuring out all their parents' flaws. And, with a 20-year-old in our household, we're living it, and it's good, and it is exciting. So that's what I've been doing. I'm reading about life and living life.
Yeah, you are.
How about you? What's going on over there?
Well, I've been spending about 2 months trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my hair. And this week I decided to finally trim my sideburns. Decided to use the dog clippers in order to trim my sideburns. It was rather harrowing for everyone involved. The dog still won't look at me in the eye anymore. He's like, "What are you doing with my clippers?" But it was nice to finally, they were like down to here. I was like tucking in behind the ear. So grateful to have the sideburns trimmed up. We'll figure out what I'm going to do with the rest of my hair.
Yeah. It's yeah, I feel it. And I'm glad I'm not the dog, but I'll say that's,
Yeah. He is too. So one of the reasons I wanted you on this update is, 25% of our congregation is fifth grade or younger. We have like over 130 households with kids in them. And this has been both an exciting time for kids and pretty unsettling for kids. And you do such a great job caring for our kids. And I would love to hear what's Restoration up to with kids small groups, and how's your team caring for our kids?
Yeah, our team is great. Our kids small group leaders, they're the hardest working volunteers, I think, at Restoration. They commit to every Sunday. When they signed up for this, they did not commit to, having perfect hair every Sunday, looking good on Zoom. But it's been great to have conversations over Zoom. Our kids, it is fun to see them. And our leaders have been great in participating. And so that is not a replacement for Sundays for me, that in-person thing, but that's as close as we get. So I love that we get to do that, and we get to see people and enjoy them. I love that every Friday we send out our parent e-newsletter to our parents that sort of gives a heads up about what we're studying on Sunday, what we're talking about, gives links to resources. We're trying to integrate more crafts, but there are only so many crafts and games you can do, like in a rectangle this big. So we're trying to offer lots of ideas of ways to extend it at home, and hope that it doesn't feel overwhelming to people, but invitational. So Ab and I met this week, and 6 feet apart over tea in the backyard. That was wonderful. And we were talking and dreaming about how else we can be caring for our kids. We're really looking forward to kids small groups extending through the summer. So normally in the summer we just do preschool, but this year we're going to do kids small groups all ages on Sundays over Zoom, and we'll just take it one step at a time.
That's awesome.
So,
Thank you.
Yeah. What's going on with you?
Yeah. Yesterday we've added this meeting every week called a YouTube live rehearsal. And those who are involved in the Sunday service, we actually get into the sanctuary and we stand in place. We practice camera transitions and transitions between like slides and who's going to be on camera. It's just stuff we've never understood. And yesterday, thinking of you and Abigail sitting 6 feet apart, like we were all wearing masks in our sanctuary on camera. It's unusual, and we're grateful to be on the same team, but it's just an unusual time.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking a lot about our parents, and I'm grateful. I love reading your newsletter each week and the different ideas you give for how we connect stuff to our kids. And I just want to give a quick shout out to all of you who are parents and juggling so many different roles from now, from cook to social coordinator. You've just become a homeschool teacher, an athletic coach, band instructor. You're like the judge and bailiff in the most petty small claims court of all time. And you guys are doing it really faithfully. And I know it gets hard. So thank you for loving your kids and helping us come alongside you to pray for you. So Louise, we have a big dinner coming up on Tuesday. You want to tell us about it?
Yeah, I'm so excited that we get to have dinner virtually, the New to Restoration or Living God's Story at Restoration dinner or virtual conversation that we're going to have. I think I'm most excited just because of all the stories I've heard about all the people all over the country and world who've been joining us.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping some of them will be there. It'll be fun to see. I know a family in New Mexico that's been joining us and a family in Wisconsin that's been joining us. And maybe they'll come to the dinner. We can hear what's ticking for them and help them see, you know, what we do and why we do it. And just this morning in morning prayer, going through Deuteronomy and hearing the stories of how we remember, how we have feasts and we celebrate. I feel like this particular event is always a remembering. I love hearing you tell the story about how restoration started.
Yeah.
And I've heard that story, well, lots of times.
A lot of times.
A lot of times. And it's always good to remember that. It's really, really good to see God's faithfulness. So I'm excited that we get to share that together on Tuesday. I have no idea what I'm going to have for dinner.
Yeah.
Probably pizza again. So yeah.
That's a good reminder, though. Like, if you are somebody who wouldn't normally be able to come into our space because you live far away, this is a great chance for you to hear our story. And if you've checked this out on YouTube Live or joined us for morning prayer, evening prayer, we would love just to have an hour with you on Tuesday night to tell you what God's done through our church and to see you get to hear your story. So that's awesome.
What else are you looking forward to?
You know, one of the things that we've been thinking about is just, again, like this Rector's update, how do we continue to improve our communication so that our church knows what we're thinking about? So on June 7th and June 9th, we're going to have 2 parish meetings. They'll have the exact same agenda, but we normally have 3 of these a year. And we realize it's just so important for us to have a gathering space where we can talk about what's going on. So on June 7th, we'll have a parish meeting right after our service, and we'll do that at 11. And then on June 9th, we'll do the same agenda at 8 p.m. And just in this sort of remote environment, we recognize that sometimes a morning Zoom call is going to be better for somebody. Sometimes an evening Zoom call is going to be better. But we have created and divided our staff and leaders into 6 teams. And they're asking all kinds of questions of how do we do restoration in this context for the foreseeable future? So asking questions about how do we help people stay connected? How do we do content delivery? How do we do the sacraments? How do we think about our local partners and our global partners when everything's changing for them? How do we keep doing Sundays and keep getting better at this new environment that we're not used to? And even a team that's thinking about when reopening happens for our church, what will that look like? What will we have to take into consideration? So there is daily prayer going into this season and lots of really good conversations among our staff and volunteers and leaders so that we can embrace what God is doing and what he has for us and what's to come. So thanks for asking. That's going to be June 7th and June 9th. Anything else you want to say before we sign off?
It's good to see your face, and I'm really glad to be part of this church that's exploring new things. It's exciting.
Yeah, me too. I grow a little weary of just having to see you in this sort of mediated environment. Can't wait till we're in the same room again. And I feel that for all of you who are watching. But God is meeting us, and God has things for us that we were never expecting. So pray you get to experience him today. See you guys.
Great. Thanks.
So long.